Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Max Frequency Podcast. I'm your host, Max Roberts, and I have the honor and privilege of being joined once again. It's that time of year, everybody. Logan Moore. How's it going, buddy?
It's going okay. It's not too bad. Things are good. Things are going swell here. I will say the hype is more diminished than ever, I feel, for this time of year, unfortunately, for a variety of different reasons. And I feel like we had a similar conversation this time last year, because obviously we always do this episode together, and we have for, what, it's not
Forever.
10 years yet.
So,
It's getting close to a decade straight of these that we've done, for sure.
Absolutely. We are here to predict E3, the Keyleys, summer video game news spread across 4 months. We are here once again to predict all the things for the big three. So for Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo. It's going to be a good time, everybody, as we are wont to do it every year. But a little annual follow-up first. How did we do last year, Logan? That's the first question. We did pretty bad, quite honestly.
I was gonna say we never do good, but I'm trying to gauge how well
bad?
we did in compared to previous years.
So we'll go quick here, Logan. We started with PlayStation last year, which is interesting. I don't think we normally do that, but you said that Sony Santa Monica would reveal 2 games at once. That technically came true.
That did happen, actually.
It did happen. Just like in January, not in the summer. But
like
they did
7 or 8 months
reveal
early.
the remake trilogy and Sons of Sparta, which we have talked about on Chapter Select. That episode may not be out by the time you hear this, because this will go up first. But they did do it, just not in the summer. You said Sly Cooper from another company. Unfortunately, the PS5 Pro was not mentioned verbally. This is true.
That's crazy.
I don't think that'll happen this year, with PSSR 2 actually being good, and GTA 6 theoretically. 3 new IP will be revealed. They do not have to be first party. That happened. I just don't know what they were. And then Resident Evil revealed with Leon as the main protagonist. While partially true on Leon, I mean, like all of that came true, just not.
It was Game Fest where it was revealed, so it wasn't PlayStation, and then obviously Leon wasn't confirmed.
Well, this would have been anything in the summer. So if it was a summer video game thing,
okay. So the Leon element of that was just
yeah,
what was
probably
wrong.
yeah. I said Horizon's next game would be announced. That was not true. Actually, it was just announced a couple of months ago. Fair Games was going to bubble up. Ironically, after we recorded it, Jade Raymond left Haven. But you know what? Fair Games is still in development, baby. And wasn't the recent report that it's pivoting to have some sort of extraction mode? Because extraction shooters are the hotness right now.
I think the report just said the game was in development hell, obviously. And then I think it also said that like internal testing on it is like very poor.
Sure.
Because of course.
Of course. I said a dormant IP is revived. I did not write down what ended up like confirming it, but I have a checkbox there. So I believe past Max. Judas getting a release date, that's so silly. And then Bloodborne coming to PS5, also pretty silly. We did not do very good. You did better. You had 2. I had 1 for the almighty PlayStation.
I don't want to hone in on this because I don't know if we'll end up talking about it with our new predictions, but it really hurts me that Judas's release date was not revealed, and it still hasn't been revealed at the time we're recording. Like, who the heck knows what's going on with that thing?
Ken Levine's taking his time. I saw he did an interview with IGN. I saw that last week. I've watched maybe 20 minutes of it. I want to watch some more. It's very interesting to hear him talk about it. And they've been doing, what's so interesting is clearly there's a marketing deal with PlayStation, because they keep putting out very infrequently these little blog updates. And it's like, look at like what we're doing in Judas. So it's like things are happening, but also not at the same time. I would love for it to be this year, but
Well, it's so
it
weird
doesn't
because
feel
like at one
likely.
point we had like the revealed trailer, and then we had like a second trailer, and I want to say those were only like 12 to like 14, 15 months apart or something like that. So like you see the first one and it reveals the game, and it's like, okay, cool. And then you see the second one, it's like, oh, they're gearing up towards launch. They're coming back, and here goes the push towards release. And that was like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know. It's strange. I'm very excited for Judas. Seriously excited for Judas whenever that comes out. But
Just knowing how that game's been constructed, I bet the like bug testing on it is hell.
probably, yeah.
Like I
Sounds
can't imagine
horrendous.
how you QA a game like that. So
I don't know. I imagine writing a guide for it will also not be a fun task. If it says that,
I don't know if you could.
Well, it depends how multifaceted it actually is versus what they're talking about. Like,
There's got to be a limit at some point. Yeah.
right. So, we shall see. Xbox. Let's see. Okay, I'm so upset. This may have been my favorite prediction from last year, and I'm upset it didn't come true. Logan, you said that Banjo and Kazooie would be playable DLC characters in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4. Asha, I know you're listening. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it, Asha. So upset. You said no Fable gameplay once again, which was correct. Absolute insanity. You said Elder Scrolls 6 would be mentioned. It was not. Although I think Todd recently in an interview acknowledged its existence. Xbox reveals a dedicated handheld, not the Asus one. The ROG Ally, I think is what that one's called. You have one of those, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. No, that is not true. Xbox. I think even reports late last year said Xbox was postponing or internally kicking the can down the road for the Xbox dedicated.
Yeah, I think
handheld.
they're still gonna do it, but they put it on pause.
Pause,
It sounded like to focus on the
Helix.
Helix or whatever this new one's called now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then another very good prediction. A new Halo game will be announced far too early, which is true. I checked off. That would have been, I guess, the Halo 1 remake.
I don't think that was announced there though.
I have a check mark, so
Sure. I'll
the
take
the check marks are accurate. They're very true. I said Gears gets love with Reloaded gameplay and then something regarding E-Day. Both of those came true. And this year we get all the E-Day stuff because it is the showcase game afterward and obviously is out later this year. So I said Outer Worlds 2 will get a release date of October 2nd. It did not come out then. I don't know when it came out, but it wasn't October 2nd. I said Contraband and Clockwork Revolution pop back up. That was not true. I think Contraband is dead.
Contraband got canceled, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2025, I said, was the year of Kojima with a proper trailer for Overdose. I want to say there was a trailer. It just wasn't in the summer.
It wasn't
really,
at the. It wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't at the showcase. But it was that really creepy one with the candle, I think.
Yes.
So, yeah. That game continues to look horrifying. And then I said Double Fine shows up with little Timmy Schafer talking about a new game, which was true. Very coincidentally, very cool. Another Double Fine game just came out. So 2 games within a year. That's kind of interesting and good to see. I like Double Fine putting out smaller, more interesting games. Keep doing what they're doing. So
I started that Lighthouse game of theirs. It was fine. I started playing it on my. I actually started playing it on my Rog or ROG Ally, and I felt like it was not. Yeah, I felt like it was not that type of game because it's so art and visual centric. It felt like I needed to be playing it on a TV
Big boy
at the
TV.
highest possible fidelity to really get the most out of it. So stopped after that.
Then Nintendo. Logan, you didn't do very well.
No, I
You
did
said
not.
you said Super Smash Brothers Ultimate would be announced. That did not happen. New 3D Mario, that did not happen. So at the time we recorded this, the Switch 2 was coming out like weeks after this episode. But we didn't know about Donkey Kong at the time, or did we? Was Donkey
We did.
we
Donkey
had
Kong
to
was at the reveal event for
April
the Switch
event,
2.
right? The
Yeah.
April event,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
it was out in July. Okay,
Yeah.
so we knew about Donkey Kong, but we didn't see. There's no Mario. Splatoon 4 would be announced, but the A in Splatoon had to be a 4. I still like that. There is a Splatoon game coming out in
Raiders.
Raiders in just a month or two. So cool to see a single player centric Splatoon game, but not 4, which will undoubtedly come. So I left one unchecked. I guess I should check it because it didn't happen in the summer. I should mark it off. Star Fox is happening, is what you said. It is happening. Legitimately, just Star Fox is happening. They're doing it again for the 4th time.
4th time? Oh, I guess Zero is one of
Oh
the
no,
remakes.
so it's, well, the original, I actually don't count Zero. If you count Zero, it's 5. So it's the original 64, 3DS, and then Switch 2. So that's my 4th time. If you count Zero's reimagining of some of the levels and things, then it would be 5. I don't count Zero. Feels a bit too different. Anyway, they are remaking Star Fox, a little furry Star Fox. That's great. And then
I'm excited for that.
me too.
Looking
I
forward
have
to it.
I have a copy pre-ordered. And then Mario Baseball. You said Mario would be back into the sports and be out next year. That did not happen. It was tennis. He went to tennis.
Which is so weird. We just had a tennis on the Switch. It was Mario Tennis. What, Fever is this one, and Aces was the one before. So, I mean, we just had one, and that was still, it was probably 6 or 7 years ago.
Fever sounds sick. I really would like to.
Fever looks fun. Yeah.
Yeah, looks like a good time. And then I said that there would be Kirby Air Riders gameplay. There was. I said they would celebrate the 40th anniversary of Mario. They did and are. I said Metroid Prime would be out October 2nd of 2025. I was off by 2 months. It came out in December 4th. So yeah, I was off by 2 months. I said Animal Crossing would be teased. That did not happen. And then I said summer, all of the for generation rumors of Prime and Zelda ports for Switch would be announced. None of that was announced. So overall, I had 2, 4, 5. You had 2, 4. I win by 1.
You got it.
I'm the victor.
I predicted a lot of right things just at the wrong time.
Wrong time. And we talked about that last time. We predicted some things just years ahead that eventually came true. So Broken Clock is right, twice a day. Let's see if we can dial in our predictions a little bit more here for 2026 summer video games. And Logan, as is tradition at this point, I leave it up to you where we start. You've shaken up the formula in years past. So which of the big 3 would you like to start with?
Let's do Xbox. They got a new boss over there. They've announced a new console. They're going to show off a Gears of War game that we know of. And some other stuff. Let's go there.
I thought you would do Xbox first or last because of the shakeups and new leadership. So I am excited to talk Xbox. Logan, what is okay, so for the listener, the unacquainted, we do 5 predictions each, and we try not to overlap. So hopefully we don't have any overlap here. If not, we'll be making stuff up on the fly. But Logan, what do you got first for me?
I feel like this one is kind of cheating because we've already seen it a little bit, but I'm gonna formally predict it here. Asha, I'm gonna figure out how to pronounce her name. I guess I've not heard anybody say it. I think it's Asha.
I think so too.
Asha Sharma, the new Xbox boss, will continue Phil Spencer's legacy and will appear in the broadcast wearing a bomber jacket with a t-shirt of an Xbox franchise on it. Phil might be gone, but his fashion legacy will live onward through her.
That is a good one. I like it. I guess when you say that we've seen it, it would be from the photos of like the all hands that they've shared in the blog post where she's wearing a bomber jacket and like an Xbox t-shirt. We're going to talk about
it has to be a franchise. It has to be like an obscure franchise. So she's got to be rocking a banjo tee or I don't know, I guess she could wear anything from anything Xbox owns at this point, a StarCraft shirt or something random.
That's obscure.
They own so many things.
Yeah, they own Candy Crush. Candy Crush merch.
Sure, she could wear a Candy Crush shirt. Yeah, go for it, Asha.
Okay. Do
what you want, girl.
So I'll do mine here, which is also an Asha prediction. Asha and Matt Booty, who you and I both have said previously should have been fired a long time ago.
Horrible. I don't understand how he's around.
Now,
still.
He's up there now. So Asha and Booty come out swinging with big talk, big games. I think primarily they're going to show a major update to the Xbox Series consoles, the X and the S, focusing on backward compatibility in some way. They had the Back Compat initiative a few years ago that they announced. Asha seems very bullish on rapid updates to the current hardware and kind of bringing up its feature parity and support. And so I think there's going to be like a section where she's like, this is our vision for the Xbox right now. We're going to squeeze more out of the hardware that you already own, and we want to lean into that. So here's how we're getting better performance for our back compat games and future titles going forward. So I think that that's what they're going to do, is come out talking. Big swing, big talk.
That would have to guarantee that Helix would ship with a disk drive if they're going to do that, and that we're not going to have an all-digital future.
So, I mean,
I'm not saying this is part of your prediction, but if they're going to lean back into that, then you have to make it to where you can throw in your old discs.
So I think in general, though, if any company wants to have backward compatibility, it's just a part of their platform, they have to either make it an option, like an accessible thing, where it's either a disk drive built in or an attachment that you buy, like with the PlayStation 5 Digital and Pro, or you make it like your subscription service like Nintendo does in a way. And granted, the Switch 2 is back compat with the Switch, but if you want to play older stuff, there's NSO. So Xbox and Sony both kind of have this problem for PS6 and Project Helix, where it's, do we let our players play their old games, not just digitally, but their physical collections? And if the answer is no, they have to just make it all digital and break the bad news to people, or offer some sort of attachment that they can charge another $100 for, which is what I think is going to happen. I think to cut costs, they'll keep the drive out, but if you want it, you can buy it. I think that's what it would look like.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, eventually it will happen, right? I mean, PC gaming is all digital. It will happen, and eventually the companies will have to bite the bullet and just say, your games don't work. Honestly, Nintendo's done it the most when you think about it, from NES, Super Nintendo, N64, none of them work together. To GameCube, again, none of them. GameCube to Wii worked, Wii to Wii U worked, and then we broke it with Switch. So Nintendo's good about it, and they keep re-releasing their games anyway, so that's how it all kind of pans out. We'll see what happens with Xbox here. But before we go to your number 2, I want to ask you, because we actually haven't talked about it. Asha put out a poll recently. She's been doing a lot of this, which I think is great. And she asked if it is Xbox, spelled just in regular capitalization with a capital X and then a lowercase BOX, or if it's all caps Xbox. I want to know, A, where you stand on that, and then what you think of the rebranding as a result of the poll.
I hate when companies do this stuff because, I mean, I specifically hate it because of my line of work that I'm in, and every now and then we'll get emails from PR companies that'll be like, hey, thanks for covering our product, but actually it's stylized this way. Can you change it? And the answer is usually like, no, I'm not going to do that. So like, just because Xbox has reformatted their name to now be all caps does not mean I will be abiding by it personally. And aesthetically, I feel like they've still been stamping all of their products in that way. You know, like I've never seen a lowercase b on any Xbox controllers or consoles or anything like that. So I guess it's just like a front-facing thing on socials and stuff like that.
I think it's just kind of to drum up a little bit of conversation. The journalist major in me is like, it's just regular Xbox. It's not all caps. I do camo case PlayStation, but that's because that's how it's been stylized from day one, right?
And I don't think that's a huge deal either.
The MacBook thing, you know, or at one time, all those iPod. There's certain companies have that, but Xbox has always just been normal spelling. Like no one has ever I have never read it stylized in all caps once in my life.
No.
So I'm a little miffed about that.
Like I said, it appears that way on, you know, the dashboards and the startup screens and all that stuff. Like all
the
of
game
their
spines,
yeah, all of that stuff. It's always capitalized, which is fine, and they've never deviated from that. Like I said, I have an Xbox One or Series X game sitting right next to me, and it's on the spine. It's all caps. So like, in some sense, that's always how it's been. But like, I don't know. I will say I don't like. They've opened up this like official like community vote thing or whatever where fans can now voice what they want to see Xbox do. That's fine. I'm fine with a forum like that for people to voice what they want. I don't like that this change was spurned or was like solely made because she just threw up a poll on Twitter and that had ramifications on the Xbox brand as a whole. Like that's a little weird. What, you're going to go off of
honestly
the votes of a couple thousand people or whatever? Like, okay.
I think probably decided beforehand and is a marketing ploy more than anything. It's just a way to generate free clicks about Xbox and get people more talking about it. It's also harmless, like in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah,
so
doesn't matter.
She's not like, hey, should we make Elder Scrolls 6 or should we
Fallout
make
5?
Fallout
choose
5.
Now.
Yeah, choose and fight. You know, it's nothing crazy, so it's just a harmless capitalization.
That would actually be fun, though, if companies did do that. Hey, everybody, here's our 2 paths moving forward. We're going to give you 2 weeks to vote. Go nuts.
Oh, gosh, that would be terrible. The chaos.
All right, let me see. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
All right, buddy. What is your number 2?
I've got one I think I'm going to save for the end because it's my craziest one. Which also means it'll be probably the one that's most wrong. I'm going to say there are no games that will appear in this presentation, first or third party, otherwise, that will have a release date or even window or whatever in November or December. The great avoiding of GTA 6 will be on full display. None of these games are going to get dates or windows in those 2 months. Everybody is steering clear.
Yeah, I could see it. I'm just trying to think.
Call of Duty's going to go early. Call of Duty will be October, I think, this year. Gears, I've heard, is like September or so. Fable, I think, would make sense for
Fable?
Fable's the one. Fable, I could see being like a December type thing, but also, I don't know.
Because
I feel like if you release an open world game after GTA 6, like you're gonna be hurting. Like that's gonna not do. Fable
so the
any
difference
favors.
for the difference for Xbox, at least right now, is it is on Game Pass. It will be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just a value add there. But they do want to sell Fable, right?
I was gonna say this is a huge reboot for them of an old school franchise that has a lot of prestige
and it's coming to
legacy.
PlayStation, right? Like they've announced that already.
I think so. I want to say that they did,
but not day and date, probably.
Probably not. No. Yeah, they did announce it. I'm remembering this now, but I don't think it's the same date.
It definitely, yeah. So I see it listed on PlayStation's website. That's crazy. It's just weird to see that sometimes. I do like all the reports that are like Sony and Xbox are like, maybe we should keep exclusives. And Nintendo's over here on their pile of IP, exclusive IP, like, yes, you should.
You will buy Star Fox for a 5th time and you'll like it.
It will. The Wikipedia says it's coming to PlayStation and Xbox all at the same time. But, that's just a Wikipedia page. So we'll see. I agree. I feel like unless they're delaying Fable into 27, which I don't, would just be nuts for that game. Where do you think Gears goes? You think that's like in August?
September. I think that's going like toe to toe with Wolverine. I think it's going to be those two clashing.
That would be a good. Man, that'd be a good month. That'd be a good month. Okay.
Gears is also always like historically shipped like early fall, if I'm correct, more often than not. I'm not saying it's like always in that range, but like September has been a very consistent month for that series to release new games. So I think that makes a lot of sense for Gears. Gets it out before Call of Duty, gets it out before Grand Theft Auto. I imagine this full-blown direct they're going to do for it will be very, very extensive, and the game will seem like it's pretty much done after that. So,
okay. All right. I will, I'll do my second Asha prediction. This is it. There's 2 Asha ones. So I'll just pair them up. Asha breaks the glass and gives us a Banjo game. She just says she just says it. And I found out going through all the previous predictions, this is a biannual prediction for me. It's every other year I go, now is the time for Banjo. So I gotta, I guess, keep the tradition up. But it'd be fun. But I actually think Asha and Matt, like everyone at Xbox, I think the days of announcing stuff with just a logo years in advance are behind them. But I also do want to know what teams are working on. So it'd be nice. I just don't know who. Like, they're not gonna make Rare make it. That'd be insanity. I don't know. I think Banjo gets some love this year, though. Someone's got.
What's Rare doing now? Like, Rare could. I agree they're not going to, but they're like,
they just canceled Everwild
and
fired a bunch of people. And the dude, I forget his name, who's been there from the beginning, he just left.
Yeah.
So Rare is not what Rare used to, and it hasn't been for a long time, which is totally fine. It'd be nice if you could slap the Rare logo on it. It'd actually be really sick if the 360 HD remake of GoldenEye could finally see the light of day, but that game obviously is stuck in illegal. No, that's different.
Oh, you mean the 360 one.
The Xbox Live Arcade one that was made for 360 but never came out officially. I'm still upset that if you own Rare Replay physically, you cannot play GoldenEye. You have to own it digitally.
That doesn't make any sense.
It is so dumb, and it feels so opposite to their whole messaging, right? Like, of cross-buy and, buy it once, play it anywhere. Like, I own Rare Replay. I have the disc. Why can I not download or patch in GoldenEye?
There's weird stuff like this between both Xbox and PlayStation all the time. Like, I saw today that, like, the Darksiders remaster, they upgraded the PS4 and Xbox One version. They upgraded it again for PS5 and Xbox Series. And on Xbox, it's a free upgrade. And on PlayStation, it costs $10. And it's like, huh? What are we
What?
doing?
Ugh,
Why is this a thing?
I don't know.
Clearly, the devs are fine with it being free on Xbox. So, like, is this a PlayStation choice? But then, why? Like, there's weird stuff like this all the time. I don't understand.
And I know GoldenEye specifically has a lot of legal lawyers' fingers in the pie between Nintendo, Amazon, Xbox. It's a mess. Anyway, I think Banjo was announced is the whole point of that particular prediction. Logan, what is your number 3?
I am going to go with this one. I don't think there's going to be any new first-party reveals in this. And I'll specify from, like, Xbox Game Studios, obviously. Like, if new Call of Duty gets revealed or something like that. Like, Activision Blizzard doesn't count. And I guess Bethesda doesn't count, but like Xbox Game Studios proper.
So
I don't
core Xbox Studios.
Core Xbox Studios, yeah. I don't think there's going to be anything new. I really think they're going to tunnel in on the rest of this generation. You know, Fable, Gears, Clockwork Revolution, or whatever. Like these last remaining games that they need to get out the door in this generation before they turn over to the next one, because obviously they're starting their next gen hype cycle already by revealing the Helix or the name of it and all that stuff. So I really think they're going to try their best to get this all shown off finally out the door. Maybe like a State of Decay 3 will reemerge or something like that too, you know, like these things that have been announced within the past 5 years. I think that's like the only thing they're going to show. I am not expecting many surprises this time around. But then maybe they want to generate a lot of excitement and do the opposite of what you're saying, which is like announce things so far in advance that like it's basically just a logo, but then that's blown up in their face with Perfect Dark. And
Perfect Dark was a mess. It'd be, you know, would be really crazy and would be a sick power move from Asha is because apparently that game was very close to done based
Perfect
off reports. Dark? Yeah. If she's just like, bring it out, ship it. Like just polish it up, finish it. Like that'd be kind of a sick power move, but I don't think it'll happen. They already wrote it off.
I was gonna say the initiative shut down, didn't it?
Yeah, but they were. Oh, what it was with
It was with
Crystal
Dynamics. Quantic Dream.
Yeah, where's that game? So I looked up Xbox Studios Wikipedia so I could just kind of see all the names here. I think there's one studio in particular that might get you. But really quick, there's the Coalition. We know they're doing E-Day, so that's obviously there. Compulsion just put out South of Midnight. I doubt they have anything new. Double Fine, as we talked about, just put out 2 new games within the last year. Halo Studios working on Combat Evolved. Rumors swirling around about a 2 and 3 remake, which isn't very surprising. And there's also reports of like there was talks of an extraction shooter. Yeah,
there's a job listing for a thing called Halo Next right now. So they're making.
But I doubt like all the attention from Halo Studios will be on Combat Evolved. So I see that. Clockwork Revolution at an Exile. Mojang is Minecraft, whatever. I mean, they could do a new Minecraft IP.
They have one
game.
coming up though. They have like Minecraft Dungeons 2. They just announced a few weeks or months ago. So
Ninja Theory, which just I think put out Hellblade 2 on PS5 Pro. I don't know, something. Obsidian Entertainment, which just put out quite a few games.
2 games last year.
Yeah. Playground Games putting out 2 games this year. Rare, which is Sea of Thieves. Turn 10, which was just turned into a support studio for Playground, which is like what a twist of fate that is. Undead Labs for State of Decay. And then this is the one I think is going to get you, buddy. World's Edge, responsible for the Age of Empires series.
Maybe
they put out one of those like a year. They're going to be like, here's a new Age of Empire game.
Yeah, they could do something. They've been milking the Age of Mythology there for a hot minute. So,
and then there's the publishing wing. So, yeah, I think you're right. I don't think there's going to be from these teams, anything new announced?
I mean, I mentioned it earlier, but like, there's supposedly like a StarCraft third or first person shooter in development right now. So like that's probably going to get revealed this year. That could be a surprising announcement that they do here, or they could save it for BlizzCon or something like that. Obviously, we've got a new Call of Duty coming up. Like there's stuff within, Activision and I guess Bethesda too that they could show off.
Another power move. She could bring back Scalebound.
I almost mentioned that a second ago when you mentioned reviving Perfect Dark. I was gonna say, why don't we just dig up Scalebound while we're at it?
Yeah, go for it all the way. Okay, I like that. That makes sense. It sounds like a negative prediction, but I think you want as many of those teams as possible prepping for Helix launch.
I was gonna say this last year of a console generation is always a weird one, and Xbox has already played their hand. This will be their last year of this console generation, like almost assuredly. Like PlayStation, it seems like it will be as well, but there's like still some questions and doubts around that potentially. But like,
and the fact that it's going to be across gen
yeah,
again, like it doesn't feel as substantial, but you definitely want your teams focused on the new hardware as much as possible, like at least bolstering that lineup as much as possible.
Especially since Asha's talk since taking over is like, we have to bring Xbox back, and it's like that's almost like waving the white flag for this generation to almost acknowledge publicly that
Phil waved the white flag a while ago.
Yes.
What was the quote? He was like, it was something along the lines, and I know I have it somewhere on the blog, but he's like, basically, we can't outsell Nintendo and PlayStation. There's no winning for us. It's like, that's not what we look at. I'm like, oh yeah, buddy. I mean, they gave up when they did that whole ad campaign. This is an Xbox. That's when they really said it was
they
over.
fired the one lady, and now she works at Tyson Chicken or whatever the heck.
What is that? Where Sarah Bond went? She went to Tyson?
She was on their board. That was like a weird thing. I want to say last year. It was announced all of a sudden that she was going to continue holding her job at Xbox, but she's also joining the board of Tyson Chicken. And I was like, what?
I mean, good for
it made me think of the Kanye West, like, I like some of the Gaga songs. What does she know about cameras? If you know what I'm talking about.
I do not know that one.
It's a good meme.
But I do know my third prediction. So you said earlier that you think E-Day is going to be kind of close to Wolverine, right?
Yeah.
In the interest of combating Wolverine, drawing some Marvel attention, I think the Blade game makes an appearance from Arcane. I don't know if we see gameplay. That would be cool, but I think we get a more realized trailer for Blade. Arcane kind of pops up. I know the studio behind, what was that game called? Red something?
Redfall.
Yeah, they're gone, but this is the other team, the one that worked on Dishonored or something.
Deathloop team.
Deathloop, thank you. Yes, that one. I think that game shows up. Blade. The show or movie or whatever maybe never coming out, but the game can, I believe.
I was just thinking about that actually when we were talking about various studios and stuff like that. I remembered that they were doing that. So yeah, I think that's a good one. I think that's one they could show off or at least provide some sort of update about, because they got to get people excited about things that are further down the road. But I just think it's going to be a little bit more tactical how they go about doing it this year. My fourth is a third party prediction.
Okay.
Capcom has gotten a lot of their big stuff out the door. Resident Evil Requiem, Monster Hunter Wilds was that this year or was that last year?
Wilds was last year, but this year was
last
the
year.
Stories 3, I think.
Stories 3 was what I was thinking of. Yeah, sorry. So they released that. Pragmata is obviously released now as well. So the only thing they really have coming up is the new Onimusha and the new Mega Man. Obviously, they've got some like smaller stuff too,
And like
remasters and
DLC
whatnot.
and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but like they don't really have anything big down the line other than those things. And usually they're announcing a lot of stuff at once. I think they're going to show up with the callback to the Xbox 360 generation, kind of, and announce a new Dead Rising game. I wrote down Dead Rising 5. I don't know if it will be that. I think it's probably more likely to be a reboot. But they did that remaster a couple years ago. You know, some fans were like not thrilled with some of the changes in that, but generally speaking, I think it went over pretty well. I think they were testing the waters there for a new entry. They recently kind of teased. One of their financial reports, they listed it as like a key franchise for the company. So I think they're doing something with it clearly.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense to partner up with Xbox, given the history of Dead Rising on Xbox. The first one was obviously a 360 exclusive for a long time. The third one was an Xbox One exclusive.
Wasn't it a launch game for the Xbox One? Yeah.
Yeah, and then Dead Rising 4 was also an Xbox exclusive for a little bit as well. So this is a series that has very close ties to Xbox, and I think it makes sense for if they're going to reveal a new game for them to do it here.
I like that. That's a good one. I did not think about that one coming back. That feels like it would fit in this space too. And Capcom, you know, kind of everything they touch right now is turning to gold. Mm-hmm. So, and it feels like Onimusha has kind of some PlayStation ties, promotionally speaking, so it'd be good for Capcom to have some sort of partnership and promotional game with Xbox as well.
I agree. Yeah, it feels like Devil May Cry and Dead Rising are like the two big things they could tap into right now. And I don't think they're going to do Devil May Cry since Onimusha is coming up in the crossover between those. Yeah. Is a little bit more similar. So.
They got to bring back Beautiful Joe is what they got to do.
And they could. That would be fun.
That'd be sick. Okay. I'll go with this one. Fallout. I'll commit all the way. Fallout New Vegas gets a sequel or remake. What should I go with? I could just be safe and say there's a new Fallout.
Both
Vegas
together.
Game. Oh my gosh.
In a single package.
So they just put out Fallout 4 something or other. Not terribly long ago, right?
Yeah. That was like the Xbox Series X or PS5 upgrade for it.
I think there's a new Fallout game in the Vegas vein. And I don't know if it's Obsidian doing it, but the show is doing so well. Bethesda proper is obviously very busy with Elder Scrolls 6 and making Starfield run on PS5. Fallout needs a game, and I think they're going to do something with the New Vegas IP in that. So there's some Fallout New Vegas love this year.
I'd be happy. I'm in the Bethesda zone kind of right now. I've been playing a lot of Oblivion, and I'm about to start playing Starfield some more. Yeah, I started it last year, and I think I spent like 15 or 20 hours with it, and I had really been itching to go back over the past year, and I just hadn't. So I've been playing that over the past few weeks a little bit more, in between everything else I've been trying to play. So I would like that. I'd be happy. I want some more Fallout. It really is like one of their, like we talk about, you know, everything that Xbox owns now between Call of Duty, Halo, World of Warcraft, like all of these major franchises. I mean, Fallout is like, it's a pretty easily within the like top 5 biggest that they own, and they just don't.
And it has a show. It actually has a good show, a well-received show.
Yeah. Popularity for Fallout is enormous, and they just don't do anything with it. And you know the people within Microsoft are probably not thrilled with that. So
yeah, I think Fallout New Vegas gets some form of love. All right,
you ready for my 5th one, the outlandish one?
Yeah, give me that outlandish Xbox prediction.
So as we move forward into the next generation. I think the one thing that's been kind of interesting to see the past few weeks or months here, like the week we're recording this, a report just came out that PlayStation's now going to go back on their exclusivity stuff. They're not going to bring their games to PC anymore. They're multiplayer games, so like the Helldivers and stuff like that will still come elsewhere. But their single player games are going to go back to being console exclusive. And Asha, since she has taken over, she has apparently said internally that they're like reevaluating how they approach exclusivity. That fan forum thing or whatever they launched this week, apparently the number one most requested thing on that right now is that they return to exclusivity. And I think both companies are kind of doing this because as we move forward into the next generation, the people like me who, buy every console, me and you who buy every console every generation, I don't think that's going to be as prominent anymore because these things are going to cost $1,000 or more. So you're really going to have to choose what you want and where you want to spend your time. And so I think exclusives really could start playing a very important pivotal role in the coming generation once again, which is strange because over the past few years, they've just been seen as not important. With all of that being said, I think Asha will announce that Halo Remake has been canceled for PS5. She will loudly proclaim that the game will no longer release for PlayStation, and they will make a big deal about it. And they will say, you know how you thought you were going to play our flagship franchise's game on your PlayStation? Well, not anymore, you filthy Sony ponies. Canceled. Master Chief Xboxer for life.
I highly doubt that, just given the fact it's like that game's supposed to be out in a few months, isn't it? Doesn't it have a date?
I don't think it has a date, but it supposedly is like June or July, is what the rumors are saying. So yeah, pretty soon.
Yeah, I just don't see that.
They're gonna take all the PS5 copies and throw them into a volcano. Make sure that they're done away with.
They called it Halo Campaign Evolved because they're cowards and won't give us multiple. That's so. Ugh. Anyway, I like the energy. I don't think that's happening. I actually would think the opposite would happen, and they'd be like, "And here's the Master Chief Collection for PlayStation as well," because that game actually was in the works. And was supposed to be announced, but didn't. Like, I think it's more likely that Halo does jump all the way over, especially now that Gears is there. But I like the energy. I like it.
She's going to see that the fans long for exclusives, and she's going to say, Master Chief can never be played with a DualSense controller. Canceled all the PS5 versions. And all around the world, the PS5 dev kits within Xbox gaming studios will be chucked out the windows. And Mark Cerny will feel a disturbance.
All right. Well, mine's not as exciting. It's another regular one for me. And mostly just because this is selfish and I want it. But it's got to be time now. Death Stranding 2 is out. He's done with it. I don't know what Jordan Peele's doing. He's producing movies. I don't know if he's making a movie.
He's produced Him, the football horror movie.
Oh, that's right. He did produce that. But Overdose. We're finally going to see gameplay for Overdose. I want Kojima horror. It's been so long. What was it? PT had an anniversary of like 10 years not terribly long ago, which feels absurd. This game's got to come out, and I would love if it was this year. That would be great. That would be sick. But I think we could just get gameplay. I'm going to hedge it a little bit, and we see gameplay for Overdose.
I would love that. I mean, he's been pretty upfront with what he's doing right now. Like at the end of every year or start of every year, he kind of gives a state of the Kojima tweet address or whatever and says like, "Oh, this year I hope to do X, Y, and Z." And it doesn't sound like they're close to releasing anything, but he has said blatantly they're working on OD a lot. And I think we could see something from
What's
it.
the subtitle? Soon. There's a subtitle for Knock. That's right. Overdose.
It was the Knock trailer is what they had called it. So I think it was just a poster for that specific reveal or whatever.
Oh, all right. Don't Google the word overdose knock. Google AI will say call 911 immediately. I was like, I don't know. I'm just talking about a video game, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I want to see this. I want this game. Please come out, Kojima.
I keep forgetting it's a thing. Just because it's been so...
Forever. It was announced in June of 22. So it's only been 4 years. That was just their partnership. That was just the partnership announced.
When did he announce it on stage at the Jeffies?
That was 23.
Okay. So yeah, it feels like next year is feasible.
Do you remember the leaked gameplay that showed Margaret Qualley running around in a dark area?
Yes.
I believed that so much because he clearly loves Margaret, and she was in Death Stranding. Wild.
It's kind of sad. I was thinking about this the other day. It's kind of sad moving forward how leak culture is going to become, because back in the day, somebody wanted to fake leak something, you really got to jump through some hoops to do it.
That's what I wrote about. That's what I wrote about with Super Mario Titans.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it's because I was like, sure, this game is probably not real, but these screenshots are amazing. And like the fact that they were able to like get the zeitgeist talking about these fake screenshots is like, and it makes you think back to like the Grinch leak with Smash Brothers, and just there was an art to the leak, and now
it's just AI slop a lot of times, unfortunately.
Sure, and it's the leak, you used to have to work for it. These kids these days, they'll never know.
They'll never know what we went through. All right, you choose the second one. I chose the first one. I chose Xbox, so you can choose where we want to go next.
Okay. I always like saving Nintendo for last. And I think Nintendo probably, honestly, is the most interesting just because their console's just a year old. But also, it seems like a lot of their stuff is leaked, but they have the most like forward potential. So I'm going to save Nintendo for last on that basis. So we're going to jump to PlayStation. And I'll go first this time. We'll shake it up. I'll go super safe. There's a gameplay demo for Wolverine, and it is shown alongside the Collector's Edition, which will not include the physical copy of the game.
No, of course it won't. It'll be digital. Of course. Yeah. It's always how it is. It's the worst.
Thanks, Wolfenstein. I think that was like one of the first games I remember not coming with the game. Or like a physical copy of it. It was one of the Wolfensteins, I think.
I remember. Yeah, I think.
But yeah, I mean, the game is out this year. They have shown a trailer, 2 trailers. Like, they haven't shown they haven't shown gameplay at all, officially. Gameplay leaked out the wazoo.
Officially.
Yeah. So I think we're going to see that. And if I had to, like, imagine what it is, I think it's early level, honestly, it's the stuff from the leak, but maybe the marketing would be like, no, show something new here. But I would think it's like a solo demo with him like in that, I don't know, should I say what we saw? Whatever. The thing we saw, I think would be a kind of an interesting scenario. But then I think this would also be the impetus to push the marketing campaign even harder and be like, here's the collector's edition. Here's what comes with the digital deluxe edition, and like blah, 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 blah.
I mean, we're 4 months away. It's very soon we'll be playing this game.
Will there be PS5 Pro plates finally? Probably not.
Probably not, for sure.
Probably not.
No one's buying that $1,000 console to justify them to make a line of plates for it as well. As unfortunate as that is.
I just want the plate. I just wanted plates. I tried so hard to get those Spider-Man plates too. Ugh.
I don't understand why they don't mass produce this stuff a little bit more, but I'm not Herman. I don't make these
Could you just
decisions.
imagine, what were they? $50, $60 for two
Yeah.
pieces of plastic? The margins on those have to be sick.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I can still buy the Spider-Man 2 Collector's Edition. Why can I not buy the plates? The plates have to be cheaper.
Same with the 30th anniversary stuff. Like, I can understand, making something like the PS5 Pro exclusive or whatever, numbering that to 1,000 or those sorts of things. But, like, why would you not want, like, 10 million 30th anniversary DualSense controllers on hand? You'd probably sell a lot of them. I don't know if controllers sell at that high of a clip, but, like, you could have easily sold millions of them.
I only bought the Portal, but yeah, I would have bought the controller.
I still have the controller and still in its box, and I'm like afraid to open it and play with it. Like, I will at some point, but like knowing that it is like this hard to get thing makes me feel like I shouldn't.
You gotta use it, dude. It's so
yeah, I will.
And honestly, like, well, they're not Xbox. They're not going to make 10 million different controller variants, but like, there's just so much potential there. But anyway,
the one thing I'll say about Wolverine real quick is Insomniac has continued to like double, triple, quadruple down on like, we will show the game this spring. And it's currently May 19th. Technically, I know that spring runs until like June 20th or 21st or something like that.
That is correct.
So that's technically spring still. So like, I guess they're really going to adhere to the seasonal calendar with this. But when they say that we're going to show something in spring, to me that reads, March through May. So if we do get into June and we haven't seen anything, that'll be, they can use say that they were not lying all along, but I don't know.
I thought there was a recent leak that said there was a state of play like coming, which is not a surprise. Like, it's super easy to say that. I mean, you could print that article any day of the week.
Yeah, it's either going to be end of May, early June, supposedly what the leaks are saying. So,
okay, yeah, I mean,
it could be next week, but
probably is, given our recording luck. Yeah, I think Wolverine's like, it's a game like that I want to get, right? But I also am like, I think I need to see it to like really get excited for it, And I did willingly read the entire plot, so like I know where it's all going. I was just so curious about it. It's so fascinating.
Well, it's just hard too, because that like
for the next 15 years.
Yes, this is the next 15 years of Insomniac. And it's like, cool. They make great games. I'm sure Wolverine will be great. Spider-Man 3 will be great.
It makes you
Wolverine
wonder, like,
2 or X-Men game, I'm sure will be good too. But like,
where is Venom? Where is
supposedly that's still in the works? One of the people tied to the game said it was canceled. The voice actor behind of Miles Morales said it was canceled. He's like, yeah, they had to cancel it after the guy who plays Venom died. Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, they scrapped it. And then Jason Schreier came out and was like, this is not true. So supposedly still exists, but I don't know. Maybe they're going to launch the PS6 with it. They're going to pull a Miles Morales, and that'll be the launch game with it, since that worked out so well for them last time. So, all right. I feel like this has to be my first prediction because of kind of the nature of it, and it will set up some of my other predictions.
Ooh, it's like a multi-tiered strategy.
Maybe not, but I mean, my prediction is just that the summer event will be a proper showcase and not a state of play. I think that they have not done a showcase in a hot minute. They have really stopped with that branding, but I think when they do a showcase, it's like indicative of like, we're going to have multiple things to say about first party games, because usually state of plays, it's just like they'll hone in on one, maybe two first party games if you're lucky. I think they'll have some more things to say this time, mainly because I'm just looking at how the generation's going to round out here. And I'm sure there are other things that we'll talk about in our predictions. But there are like 3 or 4 pretty prominent studios that need to start talking about their games. So just call it a showcase.
The last showcase, oh my goodness, was May 24th of 2023.
Okay, so 3 years.
Games featured. Just very quickly, I'm going to just pick the highlights, like the first party highlights. Fair Games, Helldivers 2.
Yuck.
Foam Stars was in there. Delta, Metal Gear Solid Delta was in there. Alan Wake 2. Just skimming very, very quickly. Resident Evil 4 VR mod. Marathon. I think that was the one where Marathon was revealed. Spider-Man 2. The Final Shape. Destiny 2, The Final Shape. And Rest in Peace, Concord. So, yeah, that is a
so
proper...
the last PlayStation showcase was cursed beyond belief, basically.
A little bit. Well, but also there were some real bangers in there. Like Helldivers 2 obviously went on to great launch success and I think has had pretty good support. And a lot of good games in there. And I would say, obviously, Marathon, great. That trailer is still very good. What's interesting is also, of course, the showcase... Like, this was like 72 minutes. The state of play surrounding it are 20, 30 minutes. I mean, there have been 40-minute state of plays. Oh, I guess the February state of play was 72 minutes, dang.
That was the longest state of play ever, I believe, yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see. But, yeah, they have not done anything branded showcase since May of 23. So, yeah, it would be... They are overdue to use it. All right. And following the format I did for Xbox, I will do this one next. Herman breaks glass and announces an Uncharted. I have realized something in my brain. I miss single-player cover shooter narrative-driven set-piece video games, and we have not had one in quite some time. And as James Bond First Light gets closer,
I was going to say, we've got James Bond coming up real soon here. So,
and I like as we get closer to it, I was like, that will be a good game. I'll play it someday. But as the launch gets closer, I'm like, I want to play this because there's something familiar about it, both in that IO and the Hitman engine and like that, just that gameplay. But then putting it within the restraint of an actual narrative instead of the loose narrative that Hitman has and some bombastic set pieces. I rewatched the story trailer. I showed it. My mother-in-law asked me what I wanted for my birthday, and I showed her this, and she was like, whoa, that looks so cool. Because they still have their Wii hooked up, like it's going to impress her no matter what.
Big leap since Wii Sports. Lots happened.
They straight up do the Uncharted 3 airplane set piece where it blows up out of the sky and he's falling. And that's one of the greatest video game set pieces ever. Like, yes, rip it off. So what I'm saying is I miss that kind of game, and I think Sony needs... I think that would bring a lot of goodwill. Obviously not Naughty Dog making it. They're busy with Intergalactic, The Heretic Prophet, and then The Last of Us Part 3. They'll probably never make an Uncharted game again. But I think that doesn't mean they can't put a team on it. And there were the rumors that San Diego was working on one. And
well, what did you think about the recent teases from the Lost Legacy director? Like, he posted,
Kurt?
I don't know if you saw that. No, Sean SKG
oh,
or
because he
whatever.
came back. That's right.
He came back after leaving for Avengers, I think it was.
It was.
And he returned.
And he came back for part 1.
And he's helming something, but no one knows what. And he posted a picture on, I think, Instagram like a couple of weeks or months ago. And he just titled the picture like Research or something like that. And it was like a scenic setting and an old cannon.
I'm
and people were like
now.
clearly like, okay, well, this screams Uncharted. So what are you doing? And it would make sense for him to come back and like be the one to helm that out, because it feels like not only was Uncharted 4 a passing of the torch for Nathan Drake himself, the main character of the series, but it felt like it was for like that era of Naughty Dog and that team at Naughty Dog. And I can't see Neil wanting to return to it, but somebody like Sean, I think, could feasibly do something with the series. So like, I think it's possible. I think that Neil's team could be doing Intergalactic and they could be spinning up an Uncharted on the side there. I don't think hope is lost for Naughty Dog to make an Uncharted game once again.
I missed this news entirely. This is actually very exciting to me. That would be sick, honestly. Apparently, according to Reset Era, this photo was taken at Fort George in Trinidad and Tobago, which is obviously a very Uncharted-y setting.
It looks like something ripped out of Uncharted 4, for sure.
Yeah. And obviously the way 4 ends, it's set up perfectly for the next kind of generation in Uncharted. And then obviously they can do whatever they want, like with Lost Legacy, where they just pick a character from the cast and send them on an adventure. Like it doesn't... This could be like a Sully prequel, like Sully doing something with a young Nate. Like it can be anything. That would be so cool. What if they did it? What if they did it again, where Naughty Dog opens and closes a show, where they psych everyone? Do you remember that?
I do.
I think it was you were there, weren't you?
It was the PlayStation PSX in 2016. They opened with The Lost Legacy.
And then closed with Last of Us 2.
Yeah. Yep.
You were there, weren't you?
Yeah, I was in like the 5th row with Michael Ruiz.
That was... to be there.
That was fun.
That would have been amazing.
It was very, very fun.
But yeah, I think Uncharted gets announced. I think it would kind of invigorate the fan base a little bit. Be very positive in this sea of like, we're canceling all these live service game. Blue Point gets shut down because they were making a live service game and all this. Like, I think it would be like, here's something you want, and it would be done well.
I wouldn't mind this personally, but I do worry, like Uncharted 4 ended and it felt like the natural passing of the torch was to, have Cassie. It's Cassie, right?
Have her become, I think.
I thought it was Cassie
Drake.
Oh,
no, it is. It's played by Caitlin Denver.
Yeah. I feel like the natural thing is to, have her be the main protagonist, but like, since that time, there's been so many new PlayStation games that have come about that have featured female protagonists, and we've got a God of War game that now seems like it's going to do that. Like all of PlayStation's single player games, Yote just did it, obviously. Like, it's totally fine to have a female led games, but it seems like that's every PlayStation studio.
Like the pendulum has just swung. Yeah.
Yes, it has drastically swung the other direction. So I wonder. I guess my fear is less so that like Cassie Drake would be the main protagonist and more that there would immediately be like blowback because of it, even though, you can't control something like that, but
there undoubtedly will be. Uncharted 4 just turned 10 a few weeks ago, which is unreal to me. I still remember that the day that game came out and playing. Oh my gosh. Such a good video game. Anyway. Yeah, Uncharted would be sick. Do it, Herman. Break the glass.
I'm going to keep this very short. I think Intergalactic shows back up, and I think it's confirmed for next year.
Okay.
That's the end of it. I don't think we're going to see too much of it, but I think they'll show something. Because it's like this looming game.
You took my Intergalactic prediction.
Was that the same thing you had?
Yeah, I just said it gets a snazzy trailer.
Okay.
So, yeah, same ballpark. I agree. I think, especially like we just talked about, if they did the double bookend type of thing, where they're like, psych. Because in this scenario, I think it would be you lead with Intergalactic. That's the known thing. And then you surprise with an Uncharted, which would be fun. But Yeah, Intergalactic's going to get a trailer. I don't think it'd be gameplay. That would be cool because this seems to be more action driven, which is a first, obviously, for the studio, or in the sense that we're all thinking. So
I mean,
it'd be
PlayStation
nice.
just keeps things close to the chest now too. Like we just said with Wolverine, like we're 4 months away and still haven't seen official gameplay for this game. Like, what are we doing? So
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna see Intergalactic in action for a hot minute either.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how Naughty Dog likes to do it. They always amp it up. All right. I'll take what I assume is on yours, so I'll counter you here. Sony Santa Monica finally reveals a video game in the year of our Lord 2026, and it is all about, what is his wife's name?
Faye.
The giant Faye. See, I wrote Freya. I was like, it's not Freya, it's Faye. It is the Faye game that has been rumored, and the internet wept. I also wrote that this is what they've been working on. So
I
yes.
have a prediction for this game too, and I think it's different enough that I will still predict it.
Why don't you throw it out there and we'll just talk about it all in the whole here then.
Okay. My prediction is I'm calling this Wife of War. Wife of War will be revealed to end the show, so it will be the final thing. And Corey's face will appear. I think like after they do the trailer, Corey will pop up and be like, "Hi everybody, Corey Barlog here from Sony Santa Monica Studio. You've just seen our first look at Wife of War. Be prepared to be Kratos' wife."
The second one.
Yes. Not the dead one. Not the first dead one. I should say they're both dead.
This is true. They're both dead. But the second one wasn't his fault.
Not that we know of.
This is true. That'd be wild. That'd be crazy. That's why he's whiter. He has more ashes embedded into his skin. Man.
Yeah, these are the two official titles I've landed on. Wife of War and Atreus Goes to College.
Well, Atreus Goes to College has been a long time joke between the two of us on the show. So yes. Okay. Man, we haven't seen the game, so I should hold my judgment until then. You know, I replayed Ragnarok last year. I did the Valhalla DLC. Like, game's still good. I just have problems with the story, and that game should have been 2 games.
But they can't make 3 Norse games, even though they're going to make 3 Norse games for some reason. This is
not the direction I thought God of War would go. Like, and God of War is in a weird spot, and it was in a weird spot back at the end of the PS3 era with Ascension, and it was like, well, what are we going to do with him now? And they turned it around miraculously right in 2018. It's a legendary reboot, but also sequel. It's spectacular. So not to say they can't do it again, but this just doesn't feel like a step forward. Narratively, at least, for sure. Mechanically, it could be if it's that DMC style game, that action-y that kind of has been floating around rumor-wise, but I don't know, man. I really would like to just explore a new pantheon, get us into Egypt or Japan or whatever. Or maybe this game will tell us who blew the horn and we'll be good.
I think, like, this to me, spoilers for Ragnarok coming up. You have 3 seconds to skip forward. This game to me, again, assuming that all the leaks and rumors about it are accurate and all that, feels like what they would have done in a world where Ragnarok killed off Kratos at the end of the game. You know, like, Kratos is dead, so we can't continue the series anymore with him. But, like, we have to continue God of War, so what else can we do? And this feels like an idea they would have come up with. But Kratos isn't dead, so you can continue things onward with him if you want to. And they're just not. And we're doing a prequel that sounds like a step backwards. Yes, narratively, for sure.
And I know you haven't played the Valhalla DLC, but it does.
I know what it entails for sure.
Do you know narratively, like where it puts Kratos?
Yes.
Like his title?
I know. Yes.
Okay. See, that's like an interesting thing that would give an excuse to maybe go visit somewhere else.
Yes.
Or do something else. And I always loved the little like, because this could totally fit in a game where we travel a little bit. But like you always talked about going back to Greece. Like current Kratos going back to Greece. And I think that would be such a great moment, even if it's just a small thing. Especially with all the Athena stuff from 2018. Gosh, what a legendary scene too, by the way. Gosh, that canoe where he goes get the blades is so good.
And that was never really fully that sort of aspect of
never
like his character.
Back.
Yeah, that never popped back up in Ragnarok. So like apparently he's still plagued by Athena's ghost or like just thoughts of her, or I don't know. Like that's
she's still around. Yeah.
Yeah. So like he could go back to Greece not only to, like rebuild it or whatever, or fix what he destroyed once upon a time, but also end his own lingering suffering from Athena and find a way to get rid of her. I don't know. Like there's a conflict there and you can do something with it.
Sure. It's something, but this just doesn't feel like moving that overall narrative forward in any way. It feels like a step back in some way, but we should give them the benefit of the doubt. I mean, Sony Santa Monica does make incredible games. I just
Corey's got like a near flawless track record, I feel like. So like I put total trust in him. Like he could make a Dora the Explorer video game. I would play it completely trust Corey, and I will be there day one. But you and I are like God of War super fans, and like what we've heard about this game does not instill much excitement, and so that sucks.
We'll see. But all right, 2 Horizon projects are shown off.
Oh my gosh.
We are going to obviously see what is it called? It's Horizon
Hunter's Gathering, I think.
Thank you. Hunter's Gathering, which had a closed beta the same weekend as the Marathon Server Slam, which just always struck me as weird. But yes, so that is coming to PS5 and PC with no date, thank God, because one of my annual predictions is that Saros, MLB, Marathon, and Wolverine are the only first-party games out this year. God, they just like Fortnite-ified Horizon. Anyway, it's so bad. Well, I shouldn't say bad. It's just different. But the game could be quite fun. Anyway.
No, you can say it's bad. The more I look at it, you can say it's bad. It's okay.
The art is not my speed.
It's exactly what you said. It'd be one thing if this was like
it's like
art style they were
Fortnite.
Going for. Yeah, it's clearly riffing on Fortnite like way too closely. And I don't want to say Fortnite, owns an art style or anything like that, but
there is an art to it. But anyway, it's been quite a while. There was Horizon Zero Dawn remastered not terribly long ago, but it's been a very long time since like a new Horizon. So they could show off Horizon 3. That wouldn't be so shocking. There's, of course, the online game, the other one that they've been working on for ages, so that could show up. I don't think they would have 2 online Horizon games at the same time. But also, I say projects because we could see the TV show. We could see whatever. Like, they could tease.
I forgot they have that.
Yeah, all sorts of things for Horizon. But there will be 2 Horizon things. Hunter's Gathering, and then I personally think 3, which I feel like is overdue for a reveal. It feels overdue.
But we've also got the like mobile MMO thing they're doing or whatever the heck that is.
Right. Yeah.
Which is only on mobile, I think. Or maybe it's on PC too.
Probably
no PlayStation.
PC.
No PlayStation at all, which is crazy.
So Yeah, Horizon's going to get a lot of love, and we all know Herman loves him some Horizon. So,
All right, I have a Horizon prediction too, and this is very
ooh,
broad, and you can score this one however you want 1 year from now when we come back and do this again. I just wrote the Horizon co-op game will take up way too much time during this broadcast.
Oh my gosh!
So use
that's
your
funny.
own judgment of what you think too much time is. I can just totally see it in like the middle of the broadcast being like the thing that they won't shut up about for like 10 minutes. Like, and in Horizon Hunters Gathering, you can do this and don't. Oh, and we're also going to do this. And it's like, oh my gosh, move to the next thing already. I don't care. What's next? We've only got 20 minutes of this show left. What is the next thing? Like, because there's always something like that in each of these shows. And I think it will be this for this event.
Okay, so I only had one backup PlayStation prediction, and I didn't love it, but I'm gonna have to pull it out because when I later looked up the research, and you probably can correct me, and if this is if my thought is incorrect, then I will make up a prediction on the fly. But I had down Ben's next project is teased, but then when I was looking it up, they said they were working on a new game based off Days Gone's like open world tech. But then last year, their live service game was canceled, but I couldn't tell if those were the same thing. So I don't know if Ben's actually working on anything.
I think they're working on something, or maybe they're like pitching again or something weird.
See, this feels like not as exciting because I'm unsure. And Media Molecule is kind of in the same boat. Polyphony, they're just going to make GT stuff. Bend felt like the most. The team at LFG is not going to have anything, of course. They'll probably be shut down before the year's end. They just shut down that Dark Alley Detective Studio, whatever, from Mr. Call of Duty. Nix's days are numbered, it seems. If they're really going to be ending their PC ports. Slim Pickens. And then, what is it? Sucker Punch is doing the last major update for the online Ghost of Tsushima stuff. So, this is the on-the-fly prediction. A PS2 mascot is revived.
That would be nice. I would love that.
I don't want to commit to like Sly or Jack or whatever. It would be crazy if Jack came back or Ratchet, but the thing is we know where Ratchet's coming, so it's like, well, not gonna be Ratchet.
I hope so. Either that or a PS3 or a PS2 or PS3. There's plenty of things back there. Let's see some Hellghasts.
Some Resistance.
I forgot about Resistance. That would be sick. Okay, here's my final one. Capcom.
Oh.
They're spreading the love at the showcases this year. They're going to Xbox with Dead Rising, and then they're coming to PlayStation with Code Veronica Remake.
So soon.
This is where we see it. Yeah, supposedly it's next year, like early next year.
I believe that, but I would be shocked to see it announced just 3 months after Requiem. But
it would seem a little crazy. But I mean, if it's next year, this follows their cadence of, announcing the summer, release in February, March-ish. That usually seems to be their go-to sort of cadence with these things. So
right.
If it's ready to go, then it's ready to go. And we also had a larger gap of time, because for a while there was new Resident Evil games out like every year for a few years there.
Oh, yeah.
And we
it
had
was a beautiful time to be alive.
There was a break for a year or two after Remake, I believe, for Remake, until Requiem just now. I think there was a break of 2 years. So I'm willing to believe they did a lot in those 2 years, and they've got some stuff lined up and ready to go. So, let's see it. Code Veronica.
Okay.
Show me Claire and remade graphics.
I like it. Okay. That leaves us with Nintendo. The Big N. Logan. I know you just went, but in the interest of keeping the alternation going between sets here. What is your first Nintendo prediction? Please don't take mine.
I'm gonna just do the obvious one with the twist. So the obvious prediction is that there's a remake of Ocarina of Time on the horizon. I think that's real. I think it's shown off here. But I think Nintendo's also gonna talk about the next Zelda game as well and mention that they're either gonna tease it with a trailer of its own or mention that it's happening or something like that. Because of all of their series, I feel like we've talked about this before too. Of all of their franchises, Zelda is always the one that they give like years in advance a heads up of like, hey, we're working on this. And you can look forward to it at some point. It's been like that going back to, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword. Maybe not Skyward Sword as much. I feel like that turnaround was a little bit more quick. But Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom as well. Like they, the sequel to the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is now in development. Like they announced that way early.
Way too early, some might say.
Yeah. And so I think they do that here. Unless the Tears of the Kingdom or main Zelda team has really, unless this Ocarina of Time remake, has been the project of the A team on Zelda, I would imagine there's multiple Zelda games in the pipeline.
The other factor is Zelda is an annual franchise. There's been an annual Zelda game every year since
of some sort, yeah.
Before, I want to say right before the Switch came out, there's been a Zelda game every year. So obviously we got Hyrule Warriors 2 this year already. So and the Ocarina of Time one probably will also come this year. So it's kind of a rare double dip. But yeah. So I also had a prediction about Ocarina of Time. I won't obviously use that. I want to ask you though and get it on the record. Do you think this is more on the remaster side of a remake, or do you think this is more of a remake with maybe a reimagining of mechanics, an approach, a new visual style, what they did with Link's Awakening, where it was this whole new art style for it? What do you think is the approach here for this one? Because I'm kind of torn on what I think the game will be like.
I think it will lean more towards actual remake side. And the reason I say that is because we've already had, the 3DS one, which was more of not a remaster, but kind of, but not really.
Remaster with quality of life improvements.
Remaster, port, yeah, I don't know. It's weird because it's I guess a 3DS is more powerful than a Nintendo 64, but it's just the transition from a home console to a handheld is a weird thing to quantify. Anyway, yeah, I think it'll be more of a remake. I think the visual style is going to be, I really think they're going to be aiming for realism, within it to a certain degree. I don't think they're going to do a change up to the art style drastically and make it more whimsical, like you mentioned with Link's Awakening or anything like that. I can't see that, especially because people have always been Zelda's always been hyper stylized in different ways, but there is times where Nintendo's tried to lean into realism a bit more, and they haven't done that since the switch to the HD consoles. So I could see them wanting to try that finally.
Yeah, the last one would have been Twilight Princess, and Twilight Princess HD would have been the last realistic Zelda.
Yeah, I guess that remaster on Wii U would have been the last HD version, but obviously that's still somewhat limited by its original version. Yeah, so I think they're going to try to go for a more realistic looking Zelda.
I think it's more remake territory as well, and I think the big thing would be a shakeup in the structure of the game. Instead of you have to go here, and then here, they open it up somehow, where it's cool. You can tackle this stuff in any order. And honestly, it would be kind of cool. I have not played it, but it would be kind of cool if they took everyone's expectations and subverted them in a very Final Fantasy VII remake sort of way. Not break it up into things, but like you think this is going to happen and then something happens, and they really play with the formula of the game while having the spirit of it. Because Ocarina of Time obviously is still the highest rated game of all time on Metacritic.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's untouchable in that way, and I think the best way to approach it is actually to reimagine it and reinvent it while honoring it still. Now, will Nintendo do that? It doesn't feel super likely, but they could. I don't know, so we'll see. But yeah, Ocarina of Time will, especially given the Star Fox accuracy, which was the other half of that rumor / leak report or whatever at the time. This feels like a 100% guarantee now. So, okay.
Hopefully they just reveal it and get it out of the way. Like, that's my fear. I know that I've obviously predicted that, but they have a history of, they usually have this showcase and then another direct come September or whatever. Hopefully they don't save it for that one. I really hope they just show it here, get it out in everybody's faces so that we can quit talking about it. Because if they don't, then the conversation's just going to turn towards, well, they didn't reveal it, but we know it's still a thing. So when are we going to see it? And it's just going to be looming over them for
forever.
months.
Yeah.
So just show it. Just announce it.
Okay. I will go with a major update and or DLC pack for Mario Kart World is announced. The game is about to hit 1 year, as long as the Switch 2. Donkey Kong Bonanza got DLC before Mario Kart World. They have been patching the game fairly regularly with tweaks, quality of life improvements, adjustments. I think there will be a major update, if not themed, because they found the community found all those like Donkey Kong character voice lines and stuff in the files. So like, sure, there could be a Donkey Kong themed world or island, but I think there's a major update for the game announced, and that's how they kick. Like that would be a really fun way to rein in the first year of the game and the console. It's like, here's more.
Seems like a slam dunk. I feel like that. I'm more surprised it kind of hasn't happened yet, but they probably want to give it 1 year on the market before they start trying to.
But because it's so obvious to us, that means it won't happen until the end of the console's life, like they did with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. They're like, here's 24 new tracks.
That's so crazy. I've never even played those tracks because it came so late. So
they're a good time, especially the ones from 2 or the mobile game are like not as thrilling because visually they're not super striking. They have interesting-ish mechanics, but it's from the mobile game, so they only go so far. The levels that were made specifically for the Switch and the DLC are very cool, and kind of give you a taste of what World would become when you go back and think about it, with like routing and options and things like that. So,
okay, I don't love most of my other Nintendo predictions here. I feel like I don't have anything too spicy.
Bring the spice, buddy.
It's weird. I feel like they're in a weird spot. Not in a weird spot or a bad spot, but they've just kind of had their thunder stolen from them with these leaks, and I don't know. I mean, it's great. I'm excited for an Ocarina of Time remake, but I just wonder how much more they're going to talk about things that are coming out this year. Because if that's their big like holiday game, then we already know that, they've got Yoshi this week, I think. Splatoon Raiders they've got coming up. They've got Fire Emblem coming up, which they're clearly going to talk about. And then Zelda as well. So like that kind of looks like their year. Star Fox too. I don't know if I mentioned that. And well, I'll just throw this one out there too, because this is technically one. We'll start here. The Dusk Bloods from Software reappears. I think the game is out in October.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
All right.
So again, that's another game they've got coming up. that we know is on the horizon for this year. They've continued to reiterate that it will be out this year. So like their 2026 seems pretty locked. And I wonder how much they're going to talk about what's beyond this year. That usually seems more like their September Direct where they kind of tease what's in the year to come.
Start teasing, yeah.
So like I feel like this could be an underwhelming Direct, even if the games they're showing off are like they look really great, but like it's just going to be a bunch of stuff we know.
Okay. So I'll kind of ride off those coattails a little bit because Nintendo does play things very 6 to 8 months out when they talk about their games. And when you write it down and you look at it, we've got Star Fox here in June. We've got Rhythm Heaven and Splatoon Raiders in July. Fire Emblem, rumors apparently say September, but sometime this year. Dust Bloods, sometime this year. And then Ocarina of Time again sometime this year. Probably more in the winter, fall end for those three.
Yeah, the report said holiday, I think.
Yeah.
So that's like...
So let's say Ocarina of Time is November, Dust Bloods is October, like you said, Fire Emblem September. So boop, 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 boop. Maybe nothing in August because of the Rhythm Heaven Splatoon Raiders kind of stacking. I think Splatoon is at the end of July anyway. I think there's at least one more surprise title for the year, and I get kind of... If anything with Smash Brothers happens for this year, it's a Switch 2 Enhanced Edition of Ultimate, which would be, a nice Band-Aid to carry over. They've done a few of those already this year with like Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Tomodachi Life technically like runs better on Switch 2. But I think in the surprise category, I think Luigi's Mansion finally comes back. 3 sold incredibly well on the Switch. I have to assume that's what Next Level Games has been working on, is the next Luigi's Mansion. It would be a great showcase for Switch 2, graphics, 4K. Heck, they technically could put ray tracing in it, which would just be an absurdist thing to say. But I think a Luigi's Mansion title is announced.
I think that makes sense. I did not write that down on my predictions, but I've been thinking the same thing for a while now. That's clearly like a priority franchise for them now. Kind of, I don't want to say quietly because they've been doing a lot with it, between the Luigi's Mansion 2 remaster thing they did and then 3, like they've continued to put pretty heavy emphasis on that series over the years. So yeah, it's clearly going to continue, especially since the third one was by far the most successful game of them all. So
yeah.
Okay, let's see. Which of my we'll just do this. Kind of ties in with Zelda a little bit because I obviously think this will be one. But I wrote 3 remakes / remasters will be announced. So I guess this could technically include third party as well. But like if Zelda happens, boom, there's one. But I think we'll see at least 3 total. I really think Nintendo's going to keep relying on their back catalog for these first couple of years here. They're obviously still doing plenty of new things. But they have really been leaning on these Switch 2 editions. And
I was going to ask, does that count if they are announcing?
No, I wouldn't count that. No. So like if we get Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Switch 2 edition, I would say no.
Okay, because my first thought was actually like, yeah, because I think a few of those will be announced. I'm kind of hoping for Paper Mario Thousand Year Door to be one of them.
That'd be sweet.
I would
like that.
I would buy that game again.
I would be a big fan. Pay for the upgrade fee.
Put that game in 4K 60. Come on, do it. Just give us that, sweet 60. I'm going to copy your style. I had this written down, but I'm going to use your delivery. You've talked about Capcom being at Xbox. You've talked about Capcom being at PlayStation. Capcom will appear at Nintendo. And they will finally announce Ace Attorney 7. All of the games have been ported. There is nothing left. Give us the new Ace Attorney, please. Yes. And Nintendo makes sense. Like, I get that Ace Attorney is multi-platform now, but Nintendo would be the logical place to announce it. I mean, really, I don't think anyone ever expected them to not only port Miles Edgeworth Investigations, but translate the sequel from Japan, which is like when they did that, I was like, okay, all of Ace Attorney is complete now. We've got Grace Ace Attorney from the 3DS. We've got the core 2 trilogies. It's time. Give us Ace Attorney 7.
They can only move forward.
Yes,
there's nowhere else to go in the past.
The only thing would be Phoenix Wright and Layton from the 3DS, but which would be great because that game is stupid expensive and obviously inaccessible legally now, without buying a secondhand copy. But it's not like that's not what I think Level 5 did that. I don't think it was a Capcom joint. We need Ace Attorney 7. Very, very, very bad.
I think they could do it. Capcom will be everywhere this year. If all our predictions are correct.
The trifecta.
They're one of the few publishers to appear at all of them.
I mean, the other thing that they could show, just in general, would be Okami. Because they did put up that anniversary site and like some anniversary merch, but Geoff Keighley was the only one on the site.
Yeah.
Which would be funny. I know they announced the sequel, but I don't think there'd be any substantial footage for that, but it could happen.
Okay. My fourth one. I've just written down a new Kid Icarus game will be revealed. This could also include a remaster of the 3DS game. I want to throw that
Uprising.
in as well.
Just like Kid Icarus returns.
Yeah, they've talked about doing... There's been rumors that they're going to remaster that game for a while. Who knows how true those are. But like if that were to happen, then sure, that counts.
So my final prediction, I have a few options, and there's like the one that's my heart. There's, I think, the most exciting one, and there's the boring one.
Just do the exciting one.
I think they reveal the next 3D Mario. I think it's the 40th anniversary still.
True.
The movie just made $1 bajillion. The game, Donkey Kong, I think it was out last year. It's had its time. I think the next 3D... Typically, I think they would reveal this in September, but I think with the summer zeitgeist, a year of Switch 2, I think they want to do a far-off promise, and they're going to show the 3D Mario game, where Mario has superpowers, Bowser's in a super suit, Edna Mode shows up. They call it Super Mario Titans. I do think the next 3D Mario is revealed, is what I'll go with.
I almost thought of doing something with that, but I don't know. I feel like they're going to sit on this for a bit.
I just think it's the anniversary, and I think they want, like we talked about, this year's pretty much set. So I think they want to give one far-off thing. And the only other thing, and you may predict this, but the only other thing that I think they would be comfortable announcing super far in advance is Smash Brothers. Because surely Sakurai is involved. Poor man. But with Kirby Air Riders...
his will.
He's capped. He's like, let me make Kirby and then I will do it. But Kirby Air Riders is out.
Did
and
pretty
was
well.
done and did well and was done years ago. So Sakura has been working on something else in the lead up to Riders. So I think like the next Smash game could be it, and they announce Smash far enough in advance usually. But I don't know. I think the anniversary is what's really making me focus on Mario. And like they've had a really solid kind of start here to the year, and I think just putting that little thing there, it's like the next 3D Mario is coming. We'll talk more about it soon. Here's like the name. Here's a teaser. What have you?
I would be excited. I would be there.
Oh, we all would.
It's the reason why you own a Switch too.
I don't know if it's the reason why I own one, but it's a reason.
It's one of them.
Yeah,
one of the big ones. Okay, my final one. You said that was your final one, but I think you still have one more, right? Because I went first.
Oh, so no, you're right. No, you're right. I do have one more. This one was buried in the order. I didn't reshuffle things. So you're right. I do have one more.
All right. My last one again. Not that exciting, but I think we're due for a new Wario game.
Ooh.
And this could be, I'll just say new Wario game broadly. My mind's thinking like new WarioWare something or another. I think it's...
There was a WarioWare game just a couple of years ago, though.
Yeah, I'm not saying there hasn't been one in, a decade. Okay. But like it feels like the cadence is about right for a new one of those to emerge. So that's why I think it could be WarioWare. But I could also see them doing something like new, like Wario World-ish with Wario.
See, I think that's where they would go because it feels like the Wario Land platformer is having a moment in the indie scene.
And it just came to Switch Online, which obviously if this is a
with the Virtual Boy?
Or the Virtual Console? It came to the GameCube catalog I'm talking about.
Oh, you mean the GameCube one, not not Wario Land 3 or whatever on the Virtual Boy.
No. Sorry.
Which also caved in, so
it did. Yeah.
It did. It very much did.
But yeah, I think there's some juice tied to Wario for them to tap into.
Okay.
And they haven't for a very long time. So let's do something. It's one of my favorite Nintendo characters. They could do something with him.
All right. I like it. Did you see that mobile game they announced last night that feels like WarioWare but isn't?
I did. It's a little weird.
It reminds me of the 3DS game that was installed, AR Face Raiders, where you take a picture.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the cards and all that.
Yeah, and your heads would fly around and you'd move with the gyro to aim and shoot. It's a good time.
It's a time.
Okay, so you're right. I did have one more prediction. Number 3 was like in the list, like I had already said it, but I didn't read this one. And I don't think I will because I think it's a lock, and I'm going to go with the heart. The heart says, despite bad sales...
Metroid Prime 5.
No, not that. Just a new Metroid game of the 2D Persuasion is announced. I think it's been a while since Dread. I think Mercury Steam is due for some new hotness. Now, I'll just say a new 2D Metroid game is announced. I don't want to lock it just to Mercury Steam, but...
They just had layoffs.
Yeah.
The game they released last year, I know, did not do well.
Just for the sake of the record, the other prediction that I am deleting now from my note was Miyamoto reveals the first teaser footage for the Legend of Zelda film.
I feel like they'll do a dedicated direct for that or something. Or they could...
the thing is like they could do it, like all eyes would be on them. It's Zelda's 40th. It could lead into the game for Ocarina.
They could do like a larger cast reveal like they did with the Mario movie.
Yeah, it's like...
And playing Impa is Angelina Jolie or something, like random stuff like that.
Ganondorf is Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
in Tingle, played by Elijah Wood.
Tingle would have to be someone's Weird Al Yankovic.
There you go.
He's got to be someone
He's
goofy.
so cool. That's what Miyamoto would say.
Daniel Radcliffe is a linebacker.
I keep forgetting that's a thing and that we're less than a year away from live action Zelda movie. What?
Yep.
I don't.
From the man who did the last Planet of the Apes movie.
I know. I mean, I hope it's good, I guess. Like, it feels like one of those things where it's like...
The first Mario movie was good and was a fun time. The second Mario movie was a fun time, not very good. We'll see. I think it'll be something. We'll see.
Link doesn't fight a giant pig, then what are we even doing? Come on.
Yeah. Big pig. Okay. That does it. That's our annual predictions. Another year in the bag, Logan.
I have mentioned before we started recording that I had one bonus prediction.
The secret
one
pick.
bonus prediction.
Lay it on me.
This prediction is for Geoff's Summer Game Fest.
A specific Geoff Keighley one.
And the prediction is that Summer Game Fest will not come and go without Geoff Keighley mentioning the Odyssey and how his father contributed to its creation.
The Keighley camera.
And then he'll encourage everybody to go see it in theaters next month.
In a weird way, I could see Christopher Nolan on stage.
Yeah. What would he promote? I don't know. Just
exactly.
The movie?
Like, I don't know what he would promote. Maybe Matthew McConaughey's game. Remember when he came out and had a game?
Yeah.
Sci-fi game?
I think that's coming out. I think they're going to show more of that soon, actually.
Maybe I don't know. Remember when I made a space movie with Matthew McConaughey? Now he's making a space video game, but I left him to make a movie about the Greeks. Remember God of War?
I just feel like Geoff will have to mention the Odyssey, and he'll say, I know this has nothing to do with video games, but go see the Odyssey. It's the first film shot entirely on IMAX.
With a new camera that my dad helped develop, and the Oscars didn't even honor him.
That's a bonus movie prediction. It's technically games, but it's a movie prediction.
Geoff's summer thing is going to be interesting, I think, this year, because it's his first event since High Guard.
It's true. That's a great point. Didn't think about that.
Like, he closed the show with High Guard, right, at the Game Awards 2025. And the game was gone 2 months later.
By March, I think?
Yeah, by March. You have the platinum. You're one of the few.
Yeah, platinum.
And
I'm a true High Guarder. What can
You're
I
true
say?
High Guarder. So it makes me wonder what his structure will be, his delivery, and like what he closes the show with. I suspect it will be a known IP this time, not some new free game from a team no one heard of. But yeah, he's known for hyperbolic delivery. What was it, Elden Ring? What was the line for that? It's like,
it's time.
Yeah. So I could see him having something like that. That's a bit Keighley hyperbolic. The internet, I'm sure, will be filled with rumors of GTA. If GTA news hasn't happened by then, Half-Life 3, because that's a real video game, but isn't a real video game. Could see all those things. He's done stuff with Naughty Dog in the past, which would be kind of cool. Granted, that leaked like an hour beforehand. That was so sad. Thanks, Last of Us Part 1 remake.
Don't worry, they showed off Last of Us multiplayer game images too. I'm sure that'll be great one day.
Don't remind me about that game. So yeah, I'm just curious how he'll structure the show, how he'll close the show. If he'll even talk about, in some
No,
way.
there's no chance he will.
I don't know.
There's no chance. Because I think in doing so, you're like throwing shade at the developers.
Not even that. You're just drawing attention to the power, clearly, the internet. Because everyone ganged up on it. So, yeah, I don't know. But we'll see. It's going to be an interesting show. It's on my birthday this year, so I'm very excited.
The thing I would pay obscene amounts of money to know this. Over the past 5 years, I will say, how many times he has gone to Rockstar and has begged for GTA 6 to be in the show in some capacity. Because he surely has, time and time and time again, and what that interaction is like. Maybe he just knows, like, yeah, they'll never work with me in this capacity. No thanks.
I think it'd be the same thing of like a Half-Life 3 in a way. Like, obviously he knows. Everyone knows. But Valve will never do that. And I don't think Rockstar doesn't need anybody,
Yeah.
Like
Rockstar doesn't need anybody, but Geoff needs Rockstar. That's kind of the thing.
Yes.
Because if he could say the next trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6 will debut at Summer Games Fest, do you know how many millions of eyes that thing would have on it? It would be his most watched anything he's ever done ever.
Yeah, but
so
I don't think you're absolutely right, and I'm sure he's at least asked. I don't know about begged, but shoot your shot. But also, I don't think Rockstar wants to share. Not that they're worried about anybody, but they don't want to share 1 second of the spotlight
of course.
with anyone else. So they could say that the trailer's going to drop during his thing, and everyone would leave to go watch that, which would just funny, that'd be savage. Actually, not that Rockstar has any reason to do so, but surely something GTA will obviously be happening this summer. There's nothing really here. We'll etch this one in. How much will Grand Theft Auto 6 base edition cost, Logan? We'll just etch that in, because by the time that we score this will be over.
I think just 70. I think they'll have different tiers, though. They'll have the deluxe version, the premium version, the this, that, and the other version, blah, 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 blah. But I think the standard edition, I don't think they're going to go too crazy with it. They could go $80. They could do the Mario Kart World and everybody would still buy it, but I just don't think they will.
I think it'll be at least $80.
I don't think it definitely will be more than that.
It should be, but I think
well, what's his name? The CEO of Take-Two the other day said something like, he said something about how they want to price it as low as possible. Like, obviously they're trying to make money, but they want
everyone will buy it, but they want everyone to buy it. There's so many scenarios. They won't do an early access offering, of course. That would be, they would sell all of those copies, but then you've got to think of the leaks. Like, they're going to be protecting this thing like, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows when it was coming out. It's like, we cannot have this book leak. Same sort of thing. We can't have the game leak. So it'll be very interesting. You're probably right. 70 is the industry standard, but I don't know. Something in my gut says 80. This game cost billions of dollars to make. Granted, GTA Online has printed billions of dollars, so whatever. It's going to be a good time. But I think that does it for our annual summer video game predictions. Thank you all so much for listening this year. If you'd like to see our predictions, links to anything that we spoke about, you can check out the show notes in your podcast player or head on over to maxfrequency.net/MFP/52. If you'd like, you can see Logan's work over at comicbook.com, where he writes about all these summer video game things as they happen, because that's what he does. And if you'd like to see any of my work, you can head on over to maxfrequency.net. And if you'd like to listen to our other podcast, Chapter Select, a seasonal retrospective show, you can do so right there in your podcast player on Max Frequency. All the things we have been recording episodes. One day we will play Castlevania. I promise.
It's next on the to-do list.
It is next on the to-do list, and there's a new one of those coming out this year. We might see a little bit of gameplay this summer for it. So, but thank you all so much for listening, and until next time, adios.